The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. Title is Daltile 2023 Trend Report. Excuse me just for a minute here. All right, I just want to make sure I get this. Okay, great. I'm Jim Olson, and I'm with the National Tile Contractors Association, and I want to welcome you and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to attend today's webinar, sponsored by Daltile. Before I introduce today's speaker, I want to remind you that during the webinar, you will be muted. Please use the questions area on your computer to type in your questions, and we will answer those questions at the end of the presentation. If the audio on your computer is poor, call the number on the invite to this webinar and listen on your phone. All NTCA webinars are available to watch at any time on the NTCA YouTube channel shortly after the webinars are presented, giving you easy access to watch and or share all current and past programs at your convenience. All right, here we go. Today's presenter, Laura Grilli, is Director of Product Design at Daltile. Laura has over 25 years of experience in the tile design and tile product development, first in Italy at a design studio, and then in China and the United States of America. Laura studied foreign languages and fine arts. She is married and has a 7-year-old son. Welcome, Laura. We're looking forward to your presentation.
Thank you, Jim. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. Today I'm going to drive you through our 2023 trend report. You can find our trend report on the website, but today what I'm going to do is just to give you some insight. So let's get started. In this slide, you have an overview of the 5 trends that we have decided to cover and to focus on. I'm not referring to tile trends only, but to interior design trends that we think will be relevant and will influence also tile design, since we love to consider tiles as an interior design component. So starting with the first trend. So the first trend that we are going to explore is called Elevate Life. And you can see from this slide that is really a mood boosting trend, full of positivity and playfulness. So this playful living concept, let's call it like this, is not new. It's an approach to life that we have seen already in the last 2 or 3 years, but it has been evolving, and now it's really an explosion of positive vibes. This is, of course, a reaction to the pessimist environment that we have experienced in the last year and that we are still living. It's a trend of maximalism, self-expression, sometimes also irreverence, rebellion, hedonism. There are influences of the 70s in the colors and the patterns. And according also to the latest design show that happened in Europe, like Maison Objet and also Salone del Mobile, the vibrance of the 70s, also with some, avant basic design, will still be strong and relevant also in 2023. In this trend, we will still see the great influence of the energy from the 80s. That is something that we have already detected, with the return of the Memphis style. It's also a trend that smells of freedom, celebration, and fun. So in next slide, you're going to see the color palette. So these are dopamine colors, we could also say. So colors and the impact of colors on a human being are becoming an extremely important factor in interior design. And these colors are fiery, are bold, are vibrant, are really meant to impress our mood in a very positive and regenerant way. So we can see the yellow, the fuchsia, the orange, the green, the turquoise, and on the right you can see some tile samples that can fit into this concept. In this slide, I just wanted to show you how 2 of these colors have been used. Fuchsia, which is also related to the Barbie core, and I think the movie of Barbie is going to be released this year, if I'm not wrong. Is the color of a specific line of Valentino Couture, and they also did a cooperation with Pantone that you can see also on the in the picture of the mug here on the bottom left, and they created this pink PP that stands for Pierpaolo Piccioli, that is the designer of Valentino. Then the other color that you see on the right is Apricot Crush. So this is the color that WGSN, which is a trend forecasting company, has chosen as color of the year for 2024. So it's a bright orange. So it means that definitely more orange to come. And in this slide, you can see how this color can be used in both residential and commercial installation. Then moving to next trend, this is a trend that we decide to call as Dreamscape. So this is probably one of the hardest to translate, but let's say we feel that the metaverse, the gaming world are starting to have an impact on real world as well. So the aesthetic that is typically associated with digital environment, we think will influence real world too. This is a trend that kind of answer to the need to escape the disappointment and the pressure of the physical world, while also finding relaxations, fulfillment, and many times also a new identity and a parallel life in the digital world. So you have to think about, you know, futuristic ambiances, metallic finish, kind of even surreal atmosphere, iridescent color, and these ethereal lightings. In this slide, you can see the color palette that is typical of this lights reverberation with this iridescent shades, the blues, the purple, the violet, the metallic. I mean, we also have to remember the color, Pantone color of last year, this very Perry, which had this sort of inspiration and kind of influence. And here in this slide, once again, we are showing how to translate this trend in actual installation. Then moving to next one, which is actually my favorite. And it is the one that we have identified as seize the day, so the carpe diem concept. So the message kind of in this trend is life is unpredictable, and there are things that we cannot control. So let's just focus on what really matters and go out there and live the present, enjoying the warmth of the sun. So basically, I mean, let's slow down, let's review our priorities, focus on, how to say, almost our primordial needs, go back to a simpler lifestyle, looking at the past to learn how to better live the present. This is a very grounded trend that promotes the rediscovery of the traditional craftsmanship, techniques, and material. So in this trend, I mean, you will see plenty of handcrafted elements, vernacular material like, you know, the clays, the concrete, the terracotta, the rammed earth. The finish that characterize this trend is matte. The looks are rustic and provide a sort of dry touch, but always with attention to the comfort. Then in this slide, you can see the color palette, which is a very earthy based color palette with sun-baked colors like the terracotta, the browns, the warm gray, the ochre, basically all the colors of the desert. And something that I saw that I think is kind of interesting is what I put here in this slide. And these are two images of the latest campaign from Banana Republic that, in my opinion, really embodies this trend very well, because it has this, you know, vibe of desertic inspiration. And once again, in this slide, you can see some of the room scene that kind of exemplify the mood of Says the Day. Then moving to next trend, this is the one that we decided to call essential luxury. So this trend is focusing on a new concept of luxury that is not based on showing off. I mean, it's not an ode to consumerism, but is taking in consideration other indicators of splendor. So beauty only is not enough. Luxury now blends beauty with heritage, with crafts, high technology, and sustainability. So, for instance, the origins of the material and their history are important and deserve respect and also to be emphasized. So, consumers are fascinated by products and brands that have a history and a culture. Crafted pieces with finishes that celebrate the uniqueness are a key factor in this trend, and handcrafted, handmade finish in general are perceived as a plus across all trends and product type. So you will hear a lot the words handmade and handcrafted this year, not only in the tile business. Then the Art Deco and other multicultural inspiration are strong component of this trend that is really kind of showing this lacquered wood, so very glossy, this bold gem-like marble looks, precious and exotic stones with the rich crystal, and also prestigious dark wood. Then, in this page, you can see the color palette, and this palette is communicating richness and sophistication with the burgundy berry, which is also, it's a color that is also associated to nobility, and it's also the color of ruby. Then gold, deep green, malachite green, but also black and dark color. And speaking about dark colors, we have seen and we expect to see a growth in their demand also this year. So dark hues seems to be loved by designer because they add drama, they are sexy, they convey a sense of mystery and intimacy. They are like kind of very rich and deep neutrals. So they're used to create impactful surfaces and theatrical composition. And they're also related to the Gothic design. And this year, we expect to see also an influence of Gothic elements, maybe also due to the successful series of Netflix. I mean, Wednesday, the one inspired to the Addams Family. And in this slide, you can see some of our latest marble collection that are actually inspired to this unique, exotic, rare stone. And this is a style that we've seen also at Cersaie. I mean, last edition of Cersaie, basically all marble looks were really going towards this very exotic, very bold, very powerful and impressive veining. And so it's a trend that we have detected in the market and that we have seen confirmed also during last show. Then last trend, we are almost done, is the one that we have identified as tender living. So last year, we started to hear about care culture. And now this concept is expanding. So we need to take care of ourselves, we need to take care of other people, and also, of course, of our planet. If we care for something, we cannot hurt it. So this is the trend that speaks about well-being, and I mean the focus on well-being will be still predominant, of course, in the design and also the tile industry, inclusivity and sustainability. So tender living is really about creating healing spaces, cocooning environments, an holistic approach to the design, fostering regeneration. Biophilia and the contact with nature are strong components in this trend. We know that immersing ourselves in nature and bringing the nature inside influence positively our mood. It is a trend that promotes soft textures, organic texture, organic wavy shapes, rounded surfaces that are perceived as safe. So they are perfect to create a calming and comforting environment. Tender living embrace imperfection and the philosophy of using the materials in their natural aspect and finish, so like not processed. And let me see, in this slide, you can see the color palette, which offers a lot of neutral, muted hues next to green, blue, and brown that are, of course, the colors that of nature, let's say, par excellence. And these colors are really meant to support us physically and mentally. As far as it concerns style, it is the trend of the satin finishes, the fluted texture, the rounded rib texture, that offer also a pleasant tactile experience and stimulate our senses. Like then as far as it concerns looks, it can be the one of the travertines, the gentle limestone, soft concrete, and natural color wood looks. And in this page, you see some of the room scenes that we have created to evoke this, to represent this trend. And you can see that they really evoke this spa feel, this sense of softness, of comfort, the sanctuary vibe that has been so important in the last years. And then this is all for me. So thank you very much for staying with us up to now.
Laura, you mentioned earlier that, is there someplace they can go through this, that they can get this information online?
Yes, if they go to our website, there is a page dedicated to the trend report, and it's live there. Yeah. They can download it. Yeah.
Is it daltile.com? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Well, I like the softer tones, the browns and the greens, a little bit more than I like the royal colors. I think royal colors work for an insert or something like that, but I really like the softer earth tones, kind of earthy feel. That was interesting to see. I did not get any questions, so I think people were here just to be informed and see what the new trends were. So I want to thank you. I want to tell everybody, if you're at coverings, stop by the Daltile booth and look for Laura. And if you have any questions, I'm sure she'll give you a couple minutes to discuss with you. So
yes, I will get to that. Okay,
great,
thank you.
So everybody, thank you. Thank you for attending, and we will see you soon. Invites will be coming up for our next webinar later this month, and I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.